Everyone. It is the start of the playing games to the March Madness tournament. It's Tuesday night. It is middle of like the Belmont game over here against Temple. So much stuff has happened in the bracket that it's time to do an update. And the entrance bracket, which is what we're looking at, I've answered some questions in here. It's pretty much the most incredible thing I've ever done related to this tournament. And just wait till you see how it's going to solve a lot of problems. It's going to solve a problem where if you're sending this thing out and it's going to someone who doesn't give a rat's behind about who wins this and just wants to fill it in as fast as possible, and they have to kind of go, oh my God, all right, well, of course, Dusik is doing it here, but then I want to do an upset, and they just do this, and they're doing the whole, and nobody wants to do that the whole time, right? Well, I know that's a problem. That's fine. And there's another question that somebody asked me, which they said, hey, you used to have a percentage over here, Ken. There was this power percentage. You put a picture up, and you had a bunch of picks. What happened? What's going on? Well, there was a formula and algorithm that I wrote to determine what I thought the most appropriate percentage was. And somebody asked me, how was that created? Well, that's created in an area here called power percentage. And it takes into account a bunch of different stats related to the team. Wins, win-loss, percentages, all these things that come from sportsreference.com. They're a great resource. Go check them out. Give them money. Let them be awesome. They provide a great resource for summary data. So what you can do now is you can pick all the different things that you like. Some people care about strength of schedule. Somebody was asking me about. They're like, you're not taking strength of schedule into account. That's why you think that Wisconsin's going to lose, and you got that wrong, and you're not whatever. Well, here now you have the option of nothing. In which case, if you do nothing, Abilene Christian wins, and they're not even in the tournament. So clearly, you have to put a percentage in here somewhere. What if you just care about wins? And you say, 100%, all I care about is who won the most games. It's going to generate a power percentage over here based on the formula in there. The way it does that, there's this big long formula here. And this will be totally unlocked, and this file is going to be free for everybody starting. As you're seeing this video, there's going to be a link where you can grab this and start playing with it. It's not even the scoring part yet. Everybody is asking me about the scoring part that's already purchased the file. I'm going to do the scoring part. I'll talk about it later, but there's a reason why we have to finish up with the entry bracket first. And this is now going to be the end of the entry bracket, as you can see, once we get the play-in games in. Now, you have the option of doing whatever. So what if you said, okay, all I care about is wins, 100% wins. You could then go to this AI simulated results sheet. This is a pivot table right here. This is a pivot table that's automatically scoring the team and how far they go in the simulated bracket. I have a simulated bracket laid out in a rectangle right here. This rectangle is the simulated results with a specific order by round, who wins, against who. And I think I did it right. Checked it, looks like it's good. So it's simulating out what you would normally fill in by doing all this, but it's not going to show it in here. So you have two options with this entry bracket when you send it out to people running in a tournament you're in. You can have them fill it out the traditional way like this and then take their results. Or you can do what I want you to do, which is I want everyone to do their own distribution of what they think the most appropriate distribution is and send me the results, because the results are also right here. And you can add this rectangle to the scoring bracket, which if you purchase, you will get, and then you can score stuff, which we'll talk about in other videos. Now, I said 100% wins. I didn't press refresh yet. This is a pivot table, and this is going to simulate at that bracket, but it's going to look like this. So what happens when we press refresh? Everything changes. The team names change, but the numbers here didn't look like they changed because this is a proper order. But Houston wins instead of Abilene Christian now. And we should have like 68 teams, I think, in here, right? Or 60 or 32 games, because it's only the 64 games. Another reason why I want the playing games to be over before we finalize this, and they don't finish until tomorrow night after a 9 o'clock game or something. So keep in mind that that's really when the master bracket gets finalized tomorrow night after that, because we should be in with just the 64 teams we want. So Houston would win if you just go by wins. Well, you don't want to go just by wins. That's too basic and ridiculous and doesn't take into any account. But win loss, sorry, that's win loss percentage, by the way. It's not even wins. So I do like win loss percentage. I'm going to give it 20%. I'm not going to care about number of wins and losses. Points per game, I'll give that 20%. Okay, you have negative stuff. If you wanted to do wins and losses, you have to put in a negative number for something like opponent's points per game average. You could do like negative 10% there. You want that to be a negative because you want that to take away from their cumulative score. You also want everything here to add up to 100, and it will go green when it does. Do you care about margin of victory? I'll say 10%. Do you care about strength of schedule? Okay, you strength of schedule people, let's throw 20% in there. There's an offensive and a defensive part of that strength of schedule that you can break out as well. There's a simple rating system that that website does, and then there's all these adjusted ones, and you can come up to a number. And when you do that, look at that, Duke does go better with that. I was messing around with all kinds of things, and in this one, Duke wins. It's all kinds. You can do, there's basically infinite number of scenarios because there are infinite numbers between 0 and 1, let alone 0 and 100%. There's an infinite number of numbers, and there's a chance that some combination of that would yield a perfect bracket. So you can run your scenario, and I want people to fill this out based on what they think the proper distribution would be. They're going to simulate the winners here, send it back to me, or just send me this because I can generate it myself. So we'll be passing around really this, and this translates into this if you want to use it. This is the coolest thing ever because it allows us to fill out the thing and then simulate out, you know, I'm not going to go crazy here, but yeah. I like this adjusted nonsense down here. I don't want to do too much of that. I don't know about the simple rating system. Strength of schedule is fine. Points per game is too much. Can do 10% on wins, negative 5% on losses. Give that 10%. 20. Well, you're saying like, what do you care about makes a team win, or you can do compare? I don't know. You can do anything. I don't know enough about basketball. I'm going to go out and do a video out of basketball court, so there will be that coming. Point is, I just want to refresh and see what it does. Duke still wins. I don't know why Duke gets good numbers. Anyway, a million ways to do this. So you can download this. There'll be a master scoring bracket video coming on Wednesday night because you got to have the playing games done. I'll tell you why. Let's find out if Belmont's winning. March Madness scores.
Currently, Temple is trailing Belmont 56 to 55 in the second quarter. Fairleigh Dickinson beat Prairie View A&M 82 to 76.
Yeah, we
For
had.
other games, try asking about a particular
No,
team.
I'm good. We had Fairleigh Dickinson, and we have Belmont. About 7 minutes left. The phone says. So it only works if you have a team here. The percentages don't work if you don't. So that's why I want the playing games to be over so we can actually get to 64. For those that are concerned about the master bracket and not getting it, you don't need it until this tournament starts. Nobody cares about scoring until after. Just don't worry about it. Just let it get done. And it's also going to have a lot of add-ons, and it's going to become much, much more interactive and allow you to do different things with it as well, given that we're just on a tear with amazing stuff. So have fun with that. I think there's a chance someone could create a percentage that yields a big bracket, and I want to see the best percentage that yielded the best results. Right? I think we do that. Sorry. All right. So anyway, that's the update for Tuesday night, and go Belmont. They better win. I like them a lot. All right. We're out.